That's major power now when we go negotiate at the end of the day, because I know and he knows that he just lied to me and he got caught. Hello everybody and welcome to today's show. I'm Mitch Beaulieu and today I'm going to be taking you guys from Calgary. We're flying down to Red Rock, Ontario, a small town up on the northwestern tip of Lake Superior. It's a beautiful area, and we're going to look at two multifamily properties. We got one 12-unit, kind of like a boarding house style apartment complex, and another 17-unit apartment complex. So to start off, we got there nice and early in the morning, and we met with the current owner, and we did a complete walkthrough and thorough inspection of this property. Now, during this inspection, you're going to notice my negotiations are already starting. So prior to going there, we got an accepted offer on the building. But now my goal here when I go and look at this property is I want to tear it apart with a fine-tooth comb. I go through everything, full exterior inspection, full interior inspection of the property. And I started off on this one on the exterior. So we walked around and I pointed out everything that I could possibly see. Cracked concrete, deficiencies outside in the parking lot. We walked around, there was holes in some of the siding. The windows were not cracked, but they had wooden frames. You can see the wooden frames were cracked. As we got around the back side, there was just open wires and there's just a bunch of little things. And so every single thing that I see, we note down inside of our list and in the system that I was telling you guys about on the previous video that we created. So we've attached values to everything. So by the time we're finished this inspection, it spits out values at the end for us so we know exactly what the costs of renovation are going to be. But that aside, what we do is now we're there, and more importantly for the negotiation aspect is I'm saying everything out loud that I'm seeing to the owner directly, and I'm giving him a chance to rebuttal everything that I'm saying.
Sub pump, there's no backup battery, and it just drains. Where's that go?
That's the municipal
into a municipal water line.
Yeah, water line. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't specifically say, "Oh, do you see that? Oh, there's a bad hole there. Yikes, that's bad." What I say is more like, "Oh, do you see that? Oh, what's that? Oh, what happened there?" And so I give him a chance to actually talk and tell me what happened. And the reason I do this is because, well, one, you don't want to sound like a complete asshole when you're in there, but you do want him to know that you're very well aware of all these deficiencies and give him a chance to go ahead and explain himself and maybe tell you that they are deficiencies or tell you how they happened or whatever the case. So for example, now in the furnace room, we found a lot of problems. One of the main ones, as soon as I walked in, I seen that there's a bunch of water stains all over the floor and in the ceiling tiles. And so there was both owners there. So I asked the older guy, "Hey, what happened here?" And his answer to me was, "Oh, I'm not sure. Water stains have been there since we took over."
You guys get leaks in here? Just see there's water stains all over the place here.
Nope. Never had a leak in here as far as I know.
I was like, "So there's no leak here? You sure this isn't leaking? This isn't leaking?" "Nope, no leaks." Like, okay. So within 5 minutes, I walk around, I find a leak.
What is this? Your water meter?
Yep.
Yeah, it's leaking pretty good here.
Oh, weird find.
It's coming from up there, it's not even here. Huh. Okay. Something to note. A little bit of leak there.
The water main was sweating and pooling water all over the floor. That's exactly what was happening, and he was well aware. And so he knew that I caught him in a lie. And for me, that's major power now when we go negotiate at the end of the day, because I know and he knows that he just lied to me and he got caught in a lie. So this happened again. We went upstairs after this, and the other owner, I seen a bucket under the sink. So I'm like, "Oh, the sink must be leaking underneath." I seen the faucet was leaking. But then I was like, "Oh, the sink must be leaking under here as well." And he's like, no, yeah, we just put a bucket there. So I immediately turn on the taps, wait a minute, Cody's underneath, and sure enough, we see water pouring
It
out.
leaks from the bottom too. The bucket under there.
I don't think it
leaks there, to be honest. Like I know that the tap obviously leaks.
Oh, there you go. Yeah?
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
So for me, again, he just blatantly lied to my face. So while I'm going through, I keep noticing, where I'm asking them questions and they're being wishy-washy or they're lying. So that tells me that at the end here, they're very well aware. Like they're just trying to sweep stuff under the rug and hope I'm not catching things. So now my eyes are even, opening wider, and I'm making sure that I can catch any small deficiency and bring it up to them. So at the end of the day on this negotiation, I wrote into my contract, by the way, a great tip for you guys. So in every contract for multifamily, you need to write as a term that you will not accept any rentals, and the rentals will be paid out by the current owner prior to the sale. What happens there is, and you guys will see in the video here, but I ended up finding a hot water tank, and I always look over the hot water tank, the furnace, all this stuff. And the hot water tank was from Reliance, and it's a rental.
Terrible.
See this
awful.
rental water heater?
So
That means you pay them forever for this water heater. A water heater, you get it installed, it's like $1,500, or you pay them like 10 grand. So what we do, put it in the contract that when we buy it, they pay all these out.
Is this a
Which
radio?
sucks for them. 10 grand each.
Oh no. Okay.
So the rental of that tank is usually about $100 to $150 a month. Now I've tried to buy those contracts out before, and that tank, depending on the style of tank, could be anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to buy out that tank. But if I just go and buy a tank and have somebody install it, it's $1,500. So Reliance banks on people not having enough money to just upfront put out for the tank, and instead they make thousands and thousands of dollars off of that tank for the lifespan of the tank, claiming that they're going to be there in case there's ever any problems with the tank. They'll just come in and fix it for you for free. But in reality, you've bought 5 tanks by the time it's time to change one in 10 years. So for me, that's just an absolute no-go. Every single time that I buy a place, we put in the contract that the current owner has to pay those rentals out. So sometimes they're renting hot water tanks, sometimes furnaces, sometimes they're renting satellite dish and equipment, all of these things. And they don't tell you about it until it's too late. You've signed the contract, and now all of a sudden you're on the hook for all these rentals that you never knew existed. So by putting that in the contract, when the deal closes, they are forced to pay all these things out in the lawyer's process before they get any of the money. So you pay whatever you pay, $1 million for the building. If there's $30,000 worth of rentals, that comes directly off the amount of money that they get. So you're free and clear before you have to go ahead and take possession of that property. So this is just one of the tips that I'm giving you guys today. Is to make sure that you understand when you're getting in there what you're getting into, because people can, again, as you just seen, they will lie to your face. So if you're not educated on the topic and you don't know what you're looking at, you can hire a professional. But again, as I've spoke about in many other videos, professionals are great most of the time, but they miss stuff too. So you really got to be careful and educate yourself on this stuff, because the more you can educate yourself, the better that you get with it. The less you have to pay some guy to go and inspect the property for you, and the more things that you can catch. Like, I guarantee you, if I sent a property inspector there, he would not have came back and told me, oh, this is a rental, this is a rental, there's a leak here. I found the leak myself because I just moved a bunch of pipes, and I seen that hidden behind there was a water line that was sweating. I am very, very doubtful that a property inspector would have went to those lengths to go and try and identify where a leak would be. He would see a spot on the ground, and chances are look up, look around, say, oh, must have been an old leak that got fixed. So these are my properties. If there's a leak, I want to know. And I'm going to make sure that it's either fixed or I get money off the property when I buy the property to fix those leaks. So now let's talk about the negotiation on this property and what I actually did. So once we went through, the main things we found, there was leaks, there was the hot water rental tank, there was a bunch of ceiling tiles that were all water stained. The showers were in terrible condition. They were leaking. One even leaked from the 3rd floor into the 2nd floor, causing a hole in the drywall in the bathroom. And I got up. Eventually, I went up on the roof.
So we inspected the building inside. Now it's time to do the outside inspection. On the roof here, this thing is old. Probably got another couple of years left in it though.
Found the roof needs to be changed. There's shingle patches all over the place. It looked terrible. So after seeing all of this stuff, we put together our own report. We found that just to bring it up to standard, not go through and renovate like we're going to, but just, to make it livable and fix all the leaks, we got $25,000. It was 25 something, but anyways, let's say $25,000 is what that was going to cost us. So even though I had already signed a contract with this person, I now went back to him and I said, hey, here's the bill. Here's what it's going to cost. And he tried to go back and forth with me. But again, because we have the proven system that I can just say, no, here's the costs. I know the costs. This is what they are. They have no way of disputing that. What he can say is, well, I don't feel like paying all of that. But he cannot say that that's not what the costs are, because I'm very well aware of what the costs are. So in that case there, he knocked off half, which is $12,500 off of the bill. And we snuck in the fact that he at the end had to pay out the hot water tank, which cost him an additional $8,000 when we closed the deal. So that's $20,000 that I saved just by going in, flying down there and having a look at this property and being a hard negotiator with these people and not allowing things to slip by. So it's for these reasons that if you're interested in getting into the real estate business, but you're not super confident and don't really understand all this stuff, but you have the financial means to do it, reach out to me. I would love to partner with you. I would love to be the working partner for your capital and make sure that we can apply it to good assets that are going to cash flow, and that you're not going to get caught in situations like this, which a lot of people do, and which is why a lot of people don't make the kind of returns that I make on the properties that I invest in.